But I always loved writing, right? So I think I married sports journalism, just made a lot of sense at a young age. So I got the bug at like 17 and I was super committed on this path, right? And I just tell students sometimes too of locking in, right? I think it's so easy to have plan B and plan C. I think sometimes you just got to be all in. I was telling someone the other day, like 18-year-old me would be really proud for sure, no doubt. Because, it's tough, like to break in the business. And I tell students this, right? Like you hear so many no's, right? And I heard 100 no's before I ever got like my first gig, right? So it definitely takes some resilience.
What goes into sports reporting or just reporting in general? Well, I sat down with Eric Jackson, who is a sports communications leader and public relations strategist focused on creating lasting impact and meaningful stories for brands and organizations. He's an award-winning journalist crafting stories that cover the intersection of sports, business, and pop culture. He's covered some of your favorite athletes, from Olympic swimmers to NFL players like one of my favorites, Larry Fitzgerald, shout out Arizona Cardinals, and some of your favorite NBA players and anything and everything in between. He is very multi-talented, multifaceted. He's been in this industry for a long time, so he's got a little tidbits and fun little stories to share with us all. So sit back and relax.
All right, let's get going.
Let's do it.
Cool. All right. Welcome to Outside the Bell Curve, a show for those who just can't seem to color inside the lines. I'm Heather, and I talk to folks with cool jobs, wild stories, and a habit of choosing the unexpected. From creative freelancers to digital nomads and everything in between, this is a show for redefining success on your own terms. And today, speaking of the devil, we have Eric Jackson. He is a sports reporter. He started at Valdosta University. I always feel like I'm saying that wrong. Valdosta.
No, you said it perfect. You said it
Awesome.
perfect.
Thanks. Valdosta University. And has worked in several publications and most recently at Sportico. So welcome, Eric.
Heather, I appreciate you having me on. It's great. I'm usually the one asking questions, so it's nice to be on the other side of it.
Yeah, that's what's so fun. I feel like you probably spend a lot of your time like always knowing what you're going to talk about. And now you don't know what you're going to talk about.
No, it's good. Appreciate you having me on.
So let's start with the fun stuff. What did you get up to this week? What do you have going on this weekend?
Yeah, I think, of course, with work stuff, always, top of mind, right? NFL drafts coming up, Kentucky Derby. So, we're getting into the spring slate of sports stuff, right? And then more personally, I'm excited. I'll be going back to Atlanta this evening. So that'll be cool. Back home, my hometown. It's been a little while, so that'll be good. See some family, some friends, go catch the Hawks. Hopefully they don't lose. Just kidding. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. So I'm excited to do that. And yeah, it's been good.
Wait, you are flying out tonight?
Tonight.
Oh my God. Well, thanks for coming. That's wild. Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
What time is your flight?
Like 30 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. It's like 6 o'clock.
Okay. I'll jump to it.
Oh my God, stop.
Tell me, okay, so let's start with, tell me about you. How did you wind up from Atlanta to New York and in working in such a coveted career? Because I think being a sports journalist for many is just, they're like, oh my God, how do I do that? That's such a dream job for me.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was telling someone the other day, like 18-year-old me would be really proud for sure, no doubt. Because, it's tough to break in the business. And I tell students this, right? You hear so many no's, right? And I heard 100 no's before I ever got like my first gig, right? So it definitely takes some resilience. And yeah, I started out Valdosta State. I'm glad you did say Valdosta. Most people say Valdosta. Oh. Valdosta. So you did it perfect. I did the student newspaper thing, right? I was a sports editor there, and because I played basketball, right? And I, growing up in Atlanta, super competitive, right? Some of the people I play with play in the NBA now, currently, formerly. And I realized at a young age, I'm like, all right, I'm not getting any taller. I realized my NBA dreams were fading away, but I always loved writing, right? So I think I married sports journalism, just made a lot of sense at a young age. So I got the bug at like 17 and I was super committed on this path, right? And I just tell students sometimes too of just locking in, right? And like, I think it's so easy to have plan B and plan C. And like, I think sometimes you just got to be all in. But with that said, yeah, Valdosta student newspaper thing. After 100 no's, I finally got Robert Bridges, still appreciative of him, my first editor, to give me a shot in a daily newspaper down in North Florida. So I was covering the Gators, high school sports in Gainesville, near Gainesville, Lake City. And yeah, that was such a great experience for me. That was kind of my first time. I was paid peanuts, right? But you would have thought I was a millionaire just because I was so excited, right? To be,
Yeah.
and I tell people all the time, I'm like, just getting your first yes, then you get some momentum in your career, right? For a lot of us, especially in the media business, right? So, and that was huge for me. Yeah. And then for me, like covering the University of Florida, 100,000 people at games, huge SEC, big time football. That's when I started to get more curious about like the economics of sports. Because I was like, why are there sellouts, but like, students are eating like pork and beans? The athletes, they don't really have much to, you know what I mean? Like their jerseys are sold in the bookstore, but they're not really benefiting. So I used to think about all these things, right? And that was kind of the turning point for my career where I started covering the business of sports. So I had opportunity to come to Atlanta to cover the business of sports, which was awesome years back. And yeah, about 4 years ago, I got another offer to come to New York City, and here I am. So yeah, I think the pivot from covering what was on the field, like a sports writing, who scored the touchdowns or had this many points, to the economics was like a big pivot for me in my career. So
Do you miss that ever, being down on the field?
I actually don't. I love the business side. My sports writer friends, I don't envy them at all. Like, because I don't know. Now, like, whoever wins or loses a game, I'm just kind of like, it doesn't have the same impact anymore. Now I'm like, I love the business side because it's more consequential. You know what I mean? Like taxpayer money and, geopolitics and the way sports intersects with culture. And I just think there's, like, I love sports, but I love the way it touches other parameters of our society.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you probably learn more that would be applicable, like you said, like to your life and other people's lives. Because not everyone's going to be able to experience that touchdown or whatever, but they are going to be able to experience creating their own business in those ventures.
Exactly. Like the entrepreneurship side. Exactly. Like, don't get me wrong. I still like, even when I go to games now, I think I look at sports a little different. Now I look at it as a huge billion-dollar enterprise, which it is, right? Like entertainment. I almost imagine like going to a play sometimes because the athletes are the entertainers and, it's a big production, right? And you have programming and cheerleaders and, the halftime shot for a $10,000 and you have this and, I think once you take a step back and you look at the whole production of it, right? You start to look at sports a little differently. So
yeah,
it's entertainment, right?
Exactly. So you've mentioned, sticking to plan A, plan B, such like that. And I know when you were younger, you had a blog. So I guess it sounds like this was always
how'd you know that?
Because I listened to your other podcast.
Look at you doing your research
I did a little
right there.
creeping. I'm a girl in 2025. You have to be good at being a creep. But so yeah, I know you had a blog. So it sounds like this was always plan A.
Always plan.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah, I was kind of crazy. I just was so hell-bent on making it happen, And I've had people like, the Ralph Wileys and Frank DeFords and like sports writers I used to admire so much and like such elegant writing and just love that. I got the bug at such a young age. I think we were talking a little Sports Illustrated. I loved reading those. And I don't know, I got the bug really young, So, yeah.
Was your blog sports?
It was sports, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was doing it for free. That's the whole thing. I like, you do it for free for so long, right? And I think that says a lot about if you're willing to do something for free, I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
For any industry, right? Any passion or, right? You know what I mean? And then, of course, you get paid for it. But I think I was so happy to just get my blog post up and, even though I look back and read on some of my old stuff and I cringe because it's so bad. But you know what I mean? But I was having a thrill about it,
I've heard this from several people just in regards to situations or work you've done. Like if you don't look back and if you look back and cringe, it just means that you've grown.
Right.
It's all good. We all do cringe readings. I think someone said that was Taylor Swift. I'm not a Swiftie, but maybe.
Did Taylor say that? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. No, that's how it goes though, right? I mean, anybody,
Exactly.
any artist, any creative, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
everything's not going to be perfect.
right. I think any
No.
creative, experience is like, oh, this kind of sucks. Or, we all go through our own, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great. Or, you know what I mean? It's interesting how that works,
So if you had a plan B, what would have been your plan B?
That's a really good question. So at one point, I wanted to be a sports agent before I was a sports reporter.
Cool job.
Cool job. Stressful job.
Very swanky.
It's funny because I know a lot of agents now who are like, it's not all cracked up to be what.
Yeah.
But it is like, there's a lot of pros and cons, like any job. So yeah, a sports agent representing talent. I think that was really top of mind too. I think in high school, I was going through all these things of like, am I really going to go to law school? And like, I was even though you don't have to go to law school, but it can help. But I still really liked writing. So obviously I decided to stay on the sports writing path. But there was a moment there where I was like, because I watched Jerry Maguire and I watched all this stuff, all these movies, you know what I mean? You romanticize.
Do you play any sports yourself currently?
I do. I play basketball now. I'm washed up, but I still like to play.
Everyone is.
Yeah, I still like to swim. Yeah, I was a swim instructor for like a while through college. So I
Me
love.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
No.
Maybe we can grab some laps or something.
Yes. You were a swim instructor in college. What age were you teaching?
I used to do the kiddos, and I would get like too attached. Like when it'd be time for them to like leave, I'd be like,
It's so fun. Did you swim in high school?
I did. Yeah.
What were your
swim
strokes?
team? So I was kind of a breaststroke guy. My butterfly has always been kind of trash. I think probably breaststroke's my backstroke's solid too. But what about you?
Yeah, I was a breaststroke girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up, like from the time I was little. I mean, especially in Arizona, it's so flipping hot.
Right.
Yeah, like you get in a pool. So I was always competitive swimming from the time I was little. And breaststroke was my baby because it was just really natural for me. And then I just looked around, and I feel like I'm kind of this way now in life. Like I looked around and I was like, everyone is good at freestyle. Like freestyle is just kind of,
I think that's the one you like get taught, right?
and everyone was so good at it, and I just was never going to be good at it. So I was like, I'm not even going to put my time and energy here. I'm going to focus on the stroke that a lot of people hate breaststroke, which is unfathomable to me because it's so fun.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just going to put my time and energy here and get really good at this. And then I still loved, I loved doing IMs and butterfly backstroke. Just anything but freestyle.
No, I love the breaststroke. Yeah, no, it's great. And I think when I was in covering UF, UF has one of the best swim and dive programs, right? So I used to love covering and watching people like Lochte and others, Olympians who were there at the time when I was there, just like, super talented, right? So it was a good time. I still love watching Olympics and watching, Ledeckis and some of the greatest, for sure. So it's fun.
Are you gearing up for there's Olympics coming up in the US, so there's LA, and then there's going to be.
Yeah, so we have LA28, which is huge. Our first Summer Olympics in the States since Atlanta, 96, where I was there.
Yeah.
I was like in Pampers, but I was there. Yeah, so it's exciting.
Yeah.
For sure. We have Italy next year, but.
Do you get to go?
I would love to go. I was bummed I didn't go to Paris this summer.
Why not? Why didn't you go? Who do I have to yell at?
I know. It was financial commitments. I know. They know me too well. So they're like, how much working are you going to be doing?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. They know I would have been like working, but.
You'll go to Italy and make it happen. Feel like
I've never done Olympics. I've had the pleasure to do a lot of stuff, but never the Olympics. So that's on LA28 is like a, definite. Yeah. Definitely will be there.
Okay.
But yeah, Italy would be great too.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, I just got so off topic. No, on topic.
No, I mean the Olympics.
Is on topic.
The Olympics are so great. I mean,
they're so fun.
The humanitarian aspect. I mean, it's like it goes beyond sports. So.
Did you think when you were okay? I forgot how we got on the topic of swimming, but I love swimming. So when you were coaching swim,
yeah,
and you were in college, did you think could that have been your plan C?
Well, the thing is, I actually did have some coworkers who were on that track of physical ed and worked at the noctoriums and the facility kind of lead kind of jobs, but I don't think that was ever going to be my
yeah fair enough.
You know what I mean? Those were more kinesiology people, physical ed people. I don't know if that was ever going to be my journey, but I liked it a lot. The only reason I stopped doing it in college was because my duties as sports editor were starting to ramp up a lot more.
You were the sports editor. That's a big job.
College newspaper.
That's huge. I mean, college newspaper is it has the word college in front of it, right?
Right.
But they're huge.
Yeah, no. And they're I tell journalists, I don't like the term aspiring journalist. You're a journalist. Sure, you might be young, you might be a student journalist, but some of them are doing great work, doing really good stuff. So I tell like students, like, don't like, I think it's like made to make you feel small sometimes. It's like, no, you're a journalist like everyone
Yeah.
else, you know what I mean? Like, sure, there's others who have 20, 30 years experience on you, but like, you know.
And so you work with students now. What do you do with students?
Yeah, so I'm a adjunct professor at Long Island University teaching like content creation and sports journalism. So I love that. I think it's a great opportunity. Yeah, I love to just like, I don't know, I've always been like interested in helping people, you
Mhm.
know, like the students, and because so many people helped me, so I feel like it's like I would feel like it would be like wrong for me not to you know, have a helping hand, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it like makes me so happy. Like I see some of my students like just got like a job with MLB and like just got into like
Oh.
Syracuse's like really program, like really top notch. You know what I mean? So I love to like just see them doing well.
Yeah. What have been some of the favorite things you've covered? Because I've seen some of the athletes that you've interviewed, and I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. Definitely
And
some
just music artists too.
right. Yeah, I know. Well, it's funny because like yeah, when you go into sports journalism, I didn't really think about how it would ever cross over into the other side of entertainment, right?
Mhm.
Music and that aspect. But yeah, it's hosting my own video cast, Business Beyond the Game. I've had other artists who were involved in sports, right? Like Ice Cube, for example, has been on. That was cool. He runs Big 3, a 3-on-3 basketball league. Or like Macklemore, right? Who's like a big golf guy who's like partnered with Adidas to do like golf apparel, and
I
you know
did.
what I mean? So it's interesting to see like these intersections, right? Like Darius Rucker was on, right? You know, Darius wants to get in, he wants to own a sports team, and he has like a partnership with Fanatics, like a sports apparel company, and he's a big Dolphins guy and Gamecocks guy. He's from Columbia, South Carolina. So, you know, it's cool to like see, because the thing is, and I was talking to Ice Cube about this, and Drake has a line that he says, they want to be us and we want to be them. And I think it's interesting how there's like this like symmetry with athletes and entertainers, right?
Mhm.
Like Darius Rucker was telling me, like when he hangs out with Tiger, Tiger wants to ask him about what's it like playing in front of all those people. And then Darius is like, what's it like hitting that hole in one? Like, you know what I mean? So I think there's like the synergies there,
Yeah.
you know, because it's all entertainment, right? At the end of the day,
Exactly.
right? So
And like speaking of like just like, Ice Cube crossing over into the music space and then athletes crossing over into the business space. You've talked about people being multifaceted and how we're not all in one lane. People can do a bunch of different shit, whatever they want to do.
for sure.
So, how do you feel about being, I guess, just the overall topic of being multifaceted? And
Yeah.
then with you, I mean, you spend all day talking about sports and business. So, how are you multifaceted? What else do you have
Yeah,
going
no, for
on?
sure. I know, and I've been so inspired by the people that I've covered too, right? For my own personal journey. But yes, one of the main things I cover is athletes, right? Or are athletes. My grammatical.
Wait, one of the main things I cover are.
Are.
That's a toss up. I almost failed that class. It's not
Thank
bad.
God we have editors in our business. But yes. No, but yeah, I cover athletes, right? And I think one of the main things, I don't think that would have been a beat like 10 years ago, right? I think now, since they have their hands in ventures and entrepreneurship and so many different things, right? Music, acting, right? So I think it's like more than ever, they're like branching out into other things, right? So I cover that a lot. And yeah, I think for my own journey, covering people who have an entrepreneurial mindset, it's impacted me too. So I do plan to start my own venture
Exciting.
down the road. We're getting there, putting some things together, but so yeah, it's exciting. You know what I mean? I think for me, it's like it's hard not to be around a bunch of entrepreneurs and to not like get a bug a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
because you know, I think for a lot of them, they've started playing when they were 5, 6 years old, and then you come to a point where you know nobody gets to play sports forever. It's just the reality
Hmm.
of it, right? So I think everybody has to figure out what's the next thing for you, right? Like your next
Yeah.
purpose, right? Because sports are, you know,
They have a timeline.
father time is undefeated, and you
Hmm.
know every athlete, even if it's Tom Brady or every, you know, if you're lucky, you can make it to your late 30s or 40s, but everybody has to eventually hang it up, right, and find their next thing, right? So yeah, and I'm inspired by the people who really really lean into that transition. And it's not
Yeah.
always easy, but the ones who make it on their side and who are really happy with their situations,
Yeah. Do you have any hobbies outside of sports that like are entirely entire? Because I feel like the hobbies I've heard have sports. Like, what's not?
No, for sure. It's so funny because like I feel like I'm not my sports writer friends, like even when they're off, they're like still watching sports all the time. Not like that's like really not me. Like I have so many other interests in like whether it's music or fashion or politics or history. People will be hitting me up. It'll be like a big game on. They're like, "Are you watching this?" I'm like, "No, I'm watching a doc on sharks right now." Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think when you cover it all the time and it's like your day to day, it's like really easy for me to like want to unplug and do something different, right? Like
Yeah.
completely non-sports related, right? Go to a show, right? Go to a Broadway show. I love doing that too. Like, so yeah, hobbies, of course, exercising, still playing some ball, still sports related. Of course, seeing my friends and traveling and
Yeah.
it's funny you say that because I was the other day, this year, I'm like, I need to like add more hobbies to the list. You know what I mean? Because we get so caught up in our work and you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
healthy to have multiple outlets of playing more chess again.
Yes.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm fine at it. But
I was just about to say, do you want to get beat?
you'll probably beat me. I do like going, maybe I'll do it today. I do like going to Union Square and just getting like my ass kicked.
Yes.
But like sometimes they'll give you a lesson.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I could learn a lot.
Or Washington Square Park. I love going
Yeah.
down there.
Oh,
Like Magnus Carlsen,
actually
he's like the
better.
grandmaster chess player. Like people like him have just come and like sat down and played. Like I love that. Like chess is an interesting game of like you can just come and like from different backgrounds and everybody just like I had
Yeah.
like this 10-year-old beat me the other day. I was kind of like pissed. He was so good.
Do you play like
I was like
often?
embarrassed. Yeah, I'll go to the park and like just sit down and like but that's like chess, right? Like I was like I'm like, wow, I just got like totally killed.
God, I love that.
So yeah, I always like looking at different hobbies, outlets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good to
Venture.
venture out for sure.
I run into the issue of sometimes having like too many hobbies and then you're just like, oh, I'm very mediocre at a lot of things.
That's good though. I think it's good to have like
It is.
I think it's so easy, especially like here in New York where it's like, all right, we're all so focused on work, climbing the corporate ladder, blah, 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 and it's like I think it's easy to lose track of like other things that fill your cup up,
Exactly.
So.
Okay, so being outside the bell curve, like how does your life look different than like what you grew up thinking your life should look like? And how did you just say for yourself, nope, I want this for myself?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think when you're younger, you're like, man, mid-30s are old. You know what I mean? You're like, when you're young, and the truth is you're just beginning in so many ways. You know what I mean? So I think for me, I probably would have thought by now it'd be like, I don't know, 2 kids deep and like in some house somewhere. And like, but it's so funny because like, I love that the journey, right? And how things change for you, right? And I think for me, and maybe that'll be a part of my journey one day, but I just think of like, when you're younger and you're thinking what this is supposed to look like and all these things, right? And I think it's cool to really like take it day to day, right? And really like build the life that you're really excited about, right? And I feel like I've done that for myself. Yeah, and I think moving to New York, for example, right? It's like a leap of like people ask me like, did you move here for work? And I say like, yeah, but really it's like exploration, you know what I mean? Like really like learning about yourself too and like having those moments too. So yeah, I think if I think of my younger self how they would envision it, I think that's maybe a little bit different, right? But I wouldn't trade it for anything, you know what I mean?
No. What do you think you've learned most about yourself?
Yeah, I think that's like a lot. Yeah, I think I've learned to be resilient. I've learned to almost embrace like challenges and obstacles. You know what I mean? I think it's like when like something doesn't go your way, it's easy to be like, oh, this is awful or this sucks. But try to use those as learning moments, right? That make you tougher and stronger.
Exactly.
It's almost like for your betterment. I know in the moment it's like, no, this is awful. But I think in the long term, right? Because we all have our
Peaks and valleys.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I
Yeah.
think like trying to learn from those, right? I think that's the main thing,
If you gave a piece of advice to somebody, it could be sports related, food related, dating related, career related, life morality related. What piece of advice would you give right now?
I would say, just talking to someone about this, where like we get kind of low sometimes and you like get stuck in the minutia. But I think it's always important to, continue to be positive and optimistic, especially sometimes in our current climate and everything else where it can be easy to kind of like get kind of pessimistic, right? And I think it's important to just stay positive and optimistic and, and know that things, remember that, it can always work out for the best. You know what I mean? I think that's important. And that helps me out a lot too, right? I like to think that the best is yet to come always, right? I don't like to ever think, oh, well, we've kind of hit the peak or, you know what I mean? Like whether that's career-wise or relationship-wise, right? I think even personally, whether it's dating or anything else, right? I think it's always important to think there's more growth to be had. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Last, this is the big question. What song do you have on repeat right now?
Oh.
We're not judging, but we're judging. Okay.
What song do I have on a repeat right now? I've been really fucking with Baby Jake right now. Do you know who that is?
Baby Jake?
Instagram gets me sometimes because he's playing in Bushwick, I guess, tonight, actually.
Oh, and you're not going to be here.
Unfortunately, I got to leave. But that's been popping up.
Give us a tune. I don't know what he sounds like, so give me like an example.
I don't know. Sometimes I find like these random artists and I think his one song was really popular, Cigarettes and Patios. I really like that song.
How does it go?
Cigarettes and patio, drinking beer with my friends.
Sounds great. Okay, I'll listen to it.
Right. No, it's a good little bop. What else have I been bopping on? I mean, my usual, I'm a big Kid Cudi guy, so I'll always be bumping the Moon Man. I don't know. It's so much. I've like my music stuff is like all over the place. So yeah, I think that's
multifaceted.
Yeah.
That's the theme
What
for
are you
today.
What are you listening to?
What am I listening to? Oh man, see, now I don't know. What song have I had on repeat?
My problem is like when I like a song, I like play it over and over until I hate the song.
I do that too, but I typically don't get sick of it. I'll play it like 50 times and I'm still into it. But yeah, I really like this band called Rebel Bucket, and I was sad because they were just in Arizona, but I had strep throat, so I couldn't go see them. No, I was over the illness by then, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out, and it sucked because like the tickets were cheap. I wanted to go see them, so Rebel Bucket, I love them. Yeah, that's just top of my mind.
Rebel Bucket.
Rebel Bucket.
Okay.
Like rubble. I just realized it. Maybe it's like rubble from the ground going into a bucket.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fun. You should check them out.
I'll check it out.
I think they're based in Bushwick. Like if you were to look at them in the best way, you'd be like, you live in Bushwick.
Okay. Well, I'm a Bushwick boy, so I guess
you'll probably see them on the train.
Yeah. They're based. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I'll definitely tune that.
Check them. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I learned a lot about you.
I know. I'm gonna pepper you with questions too.
Oh, great. Okay, awesome. Thanks. Sweet.
Heather, appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.